start already. Mic test, mic test. Okay, give a countdown. Okay, thanks everyone for attending this symposium. I greatly appreciate for your time to hear me out. Hopefully, I'm not here to sell koyu or the snake oil. But before I start, I'd like to express my heartfelt thanks to the SIDFest organizing committees. Without them, I will not be here to give talk about my products. And I know it's not very easy for them to manage, especially during the pandemic situations. So everybody give them a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Okay, my name is Kenneth. I'm from Admira. Let me share with you a bit of history about Admira. Last time, formerly known as Singli. Established in 1975, and they are one of the oldest laminate company in Singapore. So during these years, they have been offering innovative laminates, ranging from traceless, fingerprint resistant, antimicrobial, and even a colorable laminates for kids to color on. And now I'd like to introduce CERARL, which is a revolutionary, which can change the whole ID industry and also help to resolve any challenges that ID face, including the homeowners as well. Okay, let me show you the video. Okay, you all have seen the brief introduction of CERARL. So what is exactly CERARL? Okay, CERARL is made in Japan. A lot of people mispronounce as cereal, but it's not cereal, no, it's not edible cereal, but it's CERARL. CERARL. So it's made in Japan, 100% made in Japan. It's not a product of Japan, like they dedicate to other country to manufacture CERARL, but just solely from Japan. Why is from Japan? Because this product is not a new product. In fact, it was invented a few decades ago. It's meant for the Japanese old folks, aging country, where they start to introduce CERARL, which offer antimicrobial, easy to install, and all these things. So lately, Admira start to bring CERARL into the Singapore, and we only offer, last 10 years, we only offer to the commercial industry, such as a hotel, hospital, healthcare, but never thought of like introduce to the mass market. But until lately, we gain the traction, the popularity is there, so we start to rediscover CERARL and introduce to all the mass market. So CERARL itself, right, it has a contained an aluminum hydroxide implementations, meaning that it has passed the class 5 rating 0, TUSU, certified by TUSU. And it comes with various designs, just like laminates. You can have a wood grain, marbles, stones, as well as some of the solid colors. And it can be installed. That one thing good about this, it can be installed directly on the concrete, any concrete surface, as well as plywood, and most importantly, existing tiles. You can overlay on the existing tiles. You don't need to do hacking and all these things. I will explain that later. And nowadays, we are experiencing the pandemic situation. We realize that CERARL also offer antimicrobial protections. Okay, how does it? How CERARL can offer this type of protection? I will explain in the next slide. Okay, a lot of people think that antimicrobial can be it's just only a coating. I spray a layer of chemicals, and yes, you will protect against the bacteria and viruses. But for CERARL, it's just the process of including the antimicrobial is using the silver material implemented with the laminates. Then they will do the drying, pressing, and all these things. Then it was just like implementation. It will just like get into the body of the CERARL. That means even you scratch, you are exposed to the wear and tear, you still enjoy the protection of antimicrobial. So because of implementation, it is long lasting. Not unlike coating, it's just white. As a result, the effect of the antimicrobial protection has wear off. But CERARL with immersion with the resin and silver material, it will not wear easily. Okay, and it's also non-leaching surface. Like paint. When you use paint with Nippon, recently there's a paint when you offer the antimicrobial, when you touch on it, all the powdery will be stick onto your hand. But for CERARL itself, when you touch, it will not stick onto your hand. So, like let's say if you touch any food or exposed to any intakes of through oral or through eyes or something, it will not spread to it will not cause harm to your body. And it also offers 24/7 protection against germs. Let's say, like iron, when you expose to the waters, air, oxygen, what will happen? You will rust. You will oxidize and rust. So like silver, this is how it offer the antimicrobial protection. The silver will not rust, but it will tarnish. That means it will release silver ion to eliminate all the virus, inhibit the virus or bacterial growth. So that's why it's able to protect 24/7 against germs. We also have the certifications of antimicrobial. So if you need any proof that our product claim to be antimicrobial, we can provide that certification as well. So as you compare, surface fittings, right, without any protections, the virus will start to multiply within 24 hours. But as you compare with the CERARL, with silver materials and all these antimicrobial, it will try to decrease, it will eliminate all the virus within 24 hours. It will prevent the spread of the virus to others, to the people, to the person. Okay, this is how they protect. So, okay, let's say for example, I sneeze onto the surface. I sneeze onto the surface, like all the viruses contact the surface of the CERARL. The silver will react, it's like a chemical reaction. It will release, it will oxidize because of oxygen and water. It will release silver ion. How it kill the bacteria or viruses? It will surround like a magnet. It will surround the microorganism, destroy the surface, destroy the outer layer, and also change the DNA of the viruses. As a result, these microbes will not multiply. So this is how they kill all these microbes. So let's talk about how CERARL can be used. For example, CERARL can be, in the past, we only introduced CERARL to toilets wall. Okay, I can guarantee that it's very easy to install. It will take within 2 hours to install the whole toilets without hacking of tiles. Without, when you want to install a toilet, right, you engage a tilers. What will you need? You need to get a HDB license, for example, a license from the condo or whatever to proceed with your work. You also need to engage a dumpster. I mean, you need to dispose all these things, all these tiles and debris. This, I believe, how long will it take? It will take 2 weeks to install a full toilet. And worse still, I know during this pandemic, you all have faced the labor crunch to get toilets, to get the things done in the toilet. So CERARL can help to solve all these challenges by, we have the X-Stop, we just bring it over and overlay on the tiles. And it can, it's easy to install. There's no grout line. It seems to be seamless. And I can say, I dare to claim it's waterproof. That means unlike others materials, they say that it's waterproof, but it's water resistant, but it's waterproof. Afterward, I will show you the videos of how this CERARL can withstand all these waters without any compromising of the materials. Okay, take example. In Changi Airport, at first they want to do the A&A work. They see all these tiles, but however, they don't want to disrupt their operation. In Changi Airport business lounge, all these business travel, they want a peace of mind. I mean, while waiting for the air transit. So we introduced CERARL within a day. Everything is just a turn makeover, the toilet makeover, and without any pollutions, without any disruption, noise pollutions, dust pollutions, and straight away they can just install on the toilets. Accessory can be easily drilled without any crack. Unlike tiles, when you drill on it, you can see a crack, and as a result, you have to remove and change a new one. So all these are time consuming. So, and also, imagine nowadays, I mean, a lot of people wondering, is it possible to put a wood design in my toilets? So they start asking, so CERARL, since CERARL is waterproof, it looks like wood, you can install in the toilets. In the toilets, you can give you the onsen type of feeling. So if you, let's say nowadays, homeowners say, I want like a wood onsen type of feeling, Japanese Muji type, you can consider CERARL. It's just because it's waterproof and non-porous, you will not grow mold or fungus. Unlike tiles or certain materials, you will grow biofilms, you will grow fungus and all these things. So we have done the experiment. We soaked the CERARL for 5 years. There's no damages on the surface, as well as we don't feel any biofilm. Biofilm, the sticky sticky, slimy type, but you won't feel anything. They don't because it have a silver material that inhibit the growth of the fungus. So if you want to have a Roman style feel, you can consider the marbles in the toilet. You know, if you use the real marbles, how expensive it is. And also, if you use stone, it's porous. Let's say after a long period of time, you can see a mold and all these things. You have to use certain strong chemicals to remove all this mold. But for the CERARL, you can just easily install, and you can give you the feeling like you are in the whole place. It look like a real marbles because of the made in Japan. They have a special type of ink, high resolution ink, and it look almost real. Even they can even make the surface look like a marble field. When you touch, you can feel the coldness and all these things. So so this is an ideal case where homeowners or property owners want fast installations and all this. You can consider CERARL. Okay, these are the examples for some of the residential place. Imagine you can convert the normal HDB toilet like a hotel type of standard. And wait, I forgot to mention, you know, the dark color CERARL, it also consists of anti-fingerprints. That means, you know, dark colors tend to see a lot of fingerprint when you touch any of the material. But CERARL has this surface, nano surface, that able to to minimize the fingerprints, like sweaty hand when you touch. You will just dry off, you won't leave any fingerprint. Yeah. So as you can see right on the left, just now I mentioned that when you install accessories on tiles, what will happen? Shower head, when you drill directly, you'll face a lot of complaints from the property owner. Say, there's a crack, I want it to be changed. So you have a hard time to reschedule tilers to come and fix it up. But for CERARL, once you just install within a day, I mean, wait for the next one to dry up, you just drill the shower head on it, and straight away, by the very next day, you can use the toilet. Okay, there's also a lot of commercial success. Like for example, in Farrer Park Suite, 30 units are using CERARL for their toilets. And also especially for the Orchard Parade Hotel. Orchard Parade, right? The whole toilet, 120 units are using the toilet, using CERARL. Okay, the reason why they choose CERARL, I mean, after they use, right, for a few units, and they decided to use CERARL for the rest of the unit. Why? I no need to schedule downtime. Well, I can still inviting guests to come and stay. They can still continue to do their AMA work without any, with minimum disruption, like less noise, less debris, pollutions, and all these things. So, and we also have another success story in Quincy Hotel. All the units are using the toilets. And also, we can, CERARL has been used in the Elizabeth Heights condominium. I know, anybody know where's Elizabeth Heights condominium? Yeah, it's in the Orchard area beside the Paragon. So they use in a public swimming pool toilet where everybody, can use that. It looks very gorgeous. That's why all the residents come and talk to us. They want to have a piece of CERARL to be installed in their toilets. So also there are some example of success story like Wyatt's office, healthcare. You know, St. Luke Healthcare, St. Luke Elderly Care, KKH, and also have the Puteh hospitals, Zhonghua hospitals. They are using CERARL. Why? Because it contains antimicrobial. It minimizes the spread of the viruses or bacteria to the patient, and it's also easy to maintain. Okay, one reason a lot of property owners at first they were quite skeptical. They were asking, will CERARL able to withstand chemicals like bleach, all these? So normally I would use this to explain to them. Imagine the public toilets, polyclinics and all these things using CERARL. How they wash, they're using Dettol, they're using all these things. Every day exposed to all these strong chemicals. And they still, I heard some of the testimonial, they say it still look as good as new. So, and secondly, it's easy to maintain because it inhibits the growth of the fungus, the mold and all these things. So let's say, in the large public area, the cleaner has to take a lot of time to do the cleanings and all this. Sometimes certain areas they tend to neglect. So CERARL is a good ideal application for the healthcare industry. Okay, so talking about not only CERARL can use as a wall panel in the toilets, but it also can be used as the used in the kitchen. It's easy to install. Like for example, compared to the tempered glass, when you install, you need to take at least 1 or 2 weeks because you need to customize and all these things. Customize what happened, and you have to handle with care, especially for the tempered glass. But for CERARL, you can just do it on the on-site. Calculate the size and all these things, install straight away onto the existing tiles. And I can say within 2 hours, you can get your backsplash done. You can do the on-site cutting, you can do the on-site drilling. Let's say you want to do a PowerPoint, straight away you can just cut inside, just cut on the spot and mount onto the kitchen backsplash. And one thing I like to, I'm proud to say that CERARL has a superior stain resistance. After I will show you the videos of how easy can be removed. I mean, if should there be any stain. And also, because of the fire rating class 0, it will not spread the fire. That's why there's no fire hazard when you install CERARL. Okay. Okay, let's say we compare tiles versus CERARL. I mean, tiles tend to have grout line. In the kitchen, the grout line tend to receive a lot of bacteria and all these things. I mean, stuck inside the grout. You have if you nowadays the homeowners, right, or the property owners, after they cook, they are too busy, they are too lazy to, not too lazy, sorry, they are too tired to clean all these tiles and all these things. Anybody's like cook already, just leave it, just do diligent cleanings and all these things. Please. Okay, but to me, I believe some of us we don't clean after cooking because it's too tired. Husband, or maybe sometimes you tend to push the responsibility to husband and wife to do the cleaning and all these things. Yeah. So maybe as a result, they say, why not we clean in other days, or even during Chinese New Year, before Chinese New Year, spring cleaning. So installing CERARL remove all these problems. That means there's no minimize the area of viruses or bacterial infesting. And also, let's say if you do the cleaning, you need to use a strong chemicals, especially the mold side. It is not very recommendable to use all these chemicals near your food area, food preparation area, because all these chemicals may contain carcinogens that cause cancer and all these things. So a bit of accumulative will result as affecting your health. So all these we have to take note of it. Yeah. Okay, here are the examples. Tempered glass or tiles or all these things, they have a limited selections of design. Tiles the technology has advanced. Tiles have different designs and all these things. But CERARL can make it seamless. So on the bottom, you can see, not only that, we also have a matching laminates. Let's say, if you use CERARL, we have a matching laminates for your cabinets and all these things. So it will give you a lot of varieties. The choice of the design. If I want to use wood, but I want to use the same design, CERARL do have the matching laminates to aid your design inspirations. Yeah. So Okay, on the right, I mean, CERARL is just a plain of wood, but it's only 3 mm thick. You can cut in different shape and size. You look on the right, one of our Muslim friend, they want to cut the shape like a mosque. So it can be done without any, it can be done easily without any cracks or compromise of the CERARL material. So as for the feature wall, as you can look, there's a lot of examples, the mass market start to use CERARL. As you can see, it's easy to install. And it also reduces the hassle. I mean, for example, as on the right, if you use the laminate with a plywood, I believe the plywood cost has gone up recently, and I can share with you, installing the CERARL is almost the half of the budget for the designer. I mean, you can save half the cost for the designer budget. So, yeah, because CERARL no need plywood, it just directly overlay onto the wall. Okay, so just like what I say, our products has met the stringent requirement, class 5 rating 0 by TUSU. We have a green label, also green guard. Green guard, I believe you all know, minimize the the number of formaldehyde, VOC and all these things. Our VOC is near 0. And most importantly, we just got the antimicrobial protections certifications. Because of this class 5 rating rate 0, we are allowed. I mean, BCA and the SIDFest have approved that we can use it in the lift lobby or even in the lift retail storefront. And nowadays, it's very hard for you all to find laminates that has class 5 rating 0s and all these things. So because of the recent fire broke out, so the SIDFest has to be more stringent. Okay, take example, like for example, in the Century Square, the CERARL has installed. I mean, anybody have been to Century Square? Yeah, I mean, you can go there and feel and touch what is CERARL like. It's basically installed everywhere in the lift lobby, at the lift lobby, every story of the lift lobby, or even in Changi Airport, the lift, the corridor area. So, like what I say, why commercial segment like CERARL very much? Because it minimizes the schedule downtime. So while they are still operating, they can still continue to do their A&E work, to do the makeover for their storefronts and for their corridors and all these things without any with minimum disruption. So yeah, these are the perfect examples, like in Rendezvous, designed by one of our designers. You all know, in Marina Square, Marine Parade, Parkway Parade. That's why Century Square, the watch shop, they use CERARL as a storefront. And recently, even the local celebrity, Ben Yo, you heard him before, right? He used CERARL for his F&B setting. It's a very good choice. He had mentioned that for the maintenance-wise and the hygiene upkeep, you can just easily wipe it off without any, just using a mild detergent to wipe it off without using strong chemicals. Especially in this, food court area, a lot of oil meats and all these things. So because of CERARL high stain resistant property, it can easily remove without any scrubbing, without any strong cleaning chemicals. CERARL also not only used in the the food court area, but also used in the cafe. In the European restaurant, they just install CERARL. They may give you the feel like a Roman European type, but in fact, it is a German restaurant. I mean, they offer German delicacies and cuisine and all these things. Okay, and okay, just now I mentioned CERARL have been installed not only in the toilets, not only in the kitchen of F&B setting, but surprisingly, they also installed in the as such. I mean, not exposed directly to the weather, but semi-sheltered, semi-outdoor, like sheltered area. You see on the right, on the left side, this facade is installed in One North Solaris. They can come up with different designs and the cut and the shape. So yeah, they once asked us whether it can be installed because they are afraid about the sun, all these things, the violet that change the violet that change the color. Will the color fade and all these things? In fact, we passed the UV test, ultraviolet test. We have the certification, and they tried after about a year. I came back and take a photo. There's no color fadings and all these things. Then on the right, this CERARL has been installed in Jurong West Wet Market. So, so this one can be easily okay. This is a good example that CERARL can be installed in the sheltered area, semi outdoor. Okay, and also CERARL can be installed on the door. One of our residents, they use CERARL to cut in different shapes and design to use on the door. And this on the right side is a Solaris toilet. Okay. Some people use CERARL. I came across some people use CERARL to install on the bomb shelter door. Let's say bomb shelter door are made of metals. If I want to use laminate to directly paste on the metal, I can see a lot of the surface is not very even. So in order to make if I want to use a laminate, I need to use extra piece of plywood. So as a result, you make my metal door. The metal door itself is very heavy. So I need to, if I added with a plywood of laminates, you make my door even more heavier. So so they start to use CERARL, which is about 9 kg, and then the weight is about 9 kg. After cutting, it just overlay on the metal door. So from far, I can see the whole. Beside metal door, of course they are using CERARL. So I can see the whole wall seems to be seamless, including the bomb shelter door. So in other words, CERARL can be installed, can be applied onto the door. Okay, just now I mentioned quite a lot. Like selling snake oil, right? Can install in the toilets, can install all these things. It also can. It's not just a piece of plank wood. It can be installed on the ceiling. Easy. This is a good example. At the dance studio, they try this on the ceiling. I mean, installing on the ceiling, you can save the work of plastering and all these things. It's just overlay. And what you need is for the ceiling light, you just cut a hole without any hassle and all these things. So these are the example, and the middle one, again, is in the Century Square. You just take a look. They just install the CERARL on the top and flush on the at the side they are using CERARL on the wall. I mean, so as an overall picture, you can see the whole view and all these things. You improve the aesthetic view. As well as a toilet ceiling wall. Okay, so it seems like CERARL can be applied everywhere. It also can be applied in the lift lobby. So, okay, why they prefer to apply to use CERARL in the lift lobby? No, not lift lobby. Sorry, lift car. Because of the weight. The weight. So they can just directly apply onto the lift wall without increasing the weight of the lift. Okay. Okay, sorry. As you can see, right, these two applications, right, is used in the hospital, like Jurong Community Hospital, Phuket Road. Especially they like to use SIRAL at the bottom of the lift. The reason is very simple. You know, they push the patient bed, right? When they leave it, you know, in case of emergency, they do not care about the surrounding. The bed will tend to knock against the wall. SIRAL can withstand this impact without any crack. Yeah. So just how I mentioned, why SIRAL is good for the F&B, good for the kitchens and settings and all these things, because it have a high stain resistance. We tried the test. We soak that we marinate. We can say we marinate with oil, turmeric, spices, and all these things, because all these are tough stain. It's very hard to remove. So we try to do our test ourselves, because some of residents ask if they cook curry every day, what will happen if there's an oil mist or curry stain? Will the stain be easily removed? So we do our test ourselves to convince. In order to convince them, we have to convince ourselves whether this product can withstand the test, withstand the tough stain. So this is the example. We purposely use the white color to do the testing. All you need is just to use the wet cloth, do a bit of massage. No need to use force. Then we use a mild detergent to wipe it off. And there you go. It leaves no yellow stain permanently on the SIRAL.
No stain.
Okay, we also did some advertisement where we asked the kids to throw mud or paint onto the SIRAL, and we see how the stain can be easily removed. Okay, why we show this video? Yeah, because we want to promote this product to childcare centers. That's why you know, kids tend to like to use markers, paint, paint, watercolors, and all the things to draw on these surfaces. So we managed to prove that SIRAL is easy to maintain and easy to clean. That's why one of the Ang Mo Kio childcare centers has been using SIRAL for their whole area. And also one thing good is you will not because of antimicrobial, you're not you know, infested with all these microbes or microorganisms to spread to all these young children. Yeah. Okay. So just now I mentioned, I say SIRAL is waterproof. Yes. Okay. This is to do. We go to the extreme test. We conduct an extreme test where we put this in the boiling waters. This is to simulate SIRAL to be placed in the toilet, because toilets, people bathe at the 40 degrees. But anybody here, right, bathe at 100 degrees Celsius? If have, right, let me know. I mean, I want to, I will buy you a dinner. Okay, so we soak the SIRAL in boiling water, but in fact we test it. We have the test report. We soaked it immersion of boiling water for 2 hours. Nothing has happened. The surface is still remain intact. There's no expansions. There's no compromise of the material. So this is to say that SIRAL can be used in the toilet for a long period of time, because since it can sustain this kind of temperatures for 2 hours, I'm confident to say that it can be used in the toilet for a long period of time, even a decade. Okay, so basically it's how to install. Just now you have seen the first video, but in Singapore side, right, how we install is just taking a few steps. First, you have to clean the surface. Then you can do the customized on-site cutting or in the workshop. You can use a router to cut the PowerPoint. Then send it behind. Okay, then you have to use the double sellotape and max bond. Or you need to apply and use the mallet to softly tap to make sure the CERARL is even. And that's how it being installed. Okay, so just now I mentioned the cert and all this thing. We have passed the BS 476, part 6 and 7. That's why we have a COC class by rating bureau. And we have a lot of, okay, CERARL can be installed in, the joint line, can be installed in many ways. You can cut a groove line, paint it over, or you can do a butt joint to make it seamless. Or let's say if you are not confident that your carpenter's able to do that, you can consider a joint line, the joiner, the oil joint joiners. I mean, you can do a corner joint, you can do a eye joint and all this center joint. So because of CERARL has a lot of benefits and all these things. Our partners, I mean Blooms, Urban Kitchen, they start to introduce CERARL in their showroom. So let's say if you need any inspirations, you can just go to nearby. I mean, currently our showroom is in the west, far west, Sungai Gadot. So let's say you want to know more about CERARL, you can go to the Urban Kitchen at Ubi area to take a look. In fact, they use CERARL for their kitchen backsplash as well as a mock-up toilet. Okay, so if you are want to know more about our product, you can just click onto our social media, because every week we post examples, applications in our Facebook. So do like our Facebook. And that's it. Okay. Any questions? You can just email me, or you can ask. So any questions? Yeah.
Okay, there is some questions from Facebook. Okay, the first questions will be, will there be more colors and finishes available?
Okay, yeah, yes, definitely. Currently in Singapore, right, we offer 45 colors, including wood grain, marbles, stones, as well as solid colors. In fact, in Japan, they have more than 100 colors, but we decided to choose 45 colors. Why? Because we need to have an existing stock. Let's say you decide the color, you no need to wait for 8 weeks to 12 weeks for the import and all these things. To receive your product, you can immediately get the materials and start to do the installations.
Okay, thanks. The second questions will be AICA or similar brands have a skirting profile for wet area. What is your suggestion?
You mean the ICAR products for
Yeah.
skirting profile?
Yes.
Okay, you know, CERARL itself is 3 feet by 8 feet. So when you do the install, you can come, come with different methods. Either you can use a skirting, the tile skirting, then you use a CERARL to, sorry. Okay, CERARL to sit on the skirting, or you can leave 2 to 3 mm gaps, especially in toilet, you leave 2 to 3 mm gaps for you to put the grout line, the cement grout line. Yeah, I don't recommend to use silicone because you will, you will turn black or moldy in the short period of time. Yeah.
Thanks, Kenneth. I hope they answer Chris' question. So
Mhm.
we have one more last question. There is a concern of using CERARL for backsplash for kitchen with gas stove unless sufficient gap between the stove and the wall. Less of a problem for other harder materials. Is this legit? Can you please help to answer? Thank you.
Can you repeat? I cannot hear well.
No problem. There's a concern of using CERARL for backsplash for kitchen with gas stove unless there is sufficient gap between the stove and the wall. Okay, less of a problem for other materials. Is this legit?
Yes, CERARL is not a fireproof. Okay, I mean CERARL have many advantage, but also there's some of the disadvantage. You need to have a certain gap from the stove. I mean about 10 centimeters. As long as you're not exposed directly to the stove flame, it can be able to withstand the heat. So CERARL is not a waterproof, no fireproof, but it's unlike tempered glass, it can withstand more than 1,000 degrees because they need they're using the high heat to form the glass and all these things. But certain gaps, CERARL can withstand. I mean, a lot of people have been using CERARL for the kitchen backsplash, and I don't come across any problem they have faced if they leave a gap.
No. Okay, that's all for the questions.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
thanks for your time. I hope that CERARL can help you to resolve any challenges that you face. I mean, if you think of the time of installation and all these things, you can consider CERARL. If you need any questions, I mean, feel free to email us. We can write back. We can reply you. Yes, Chris.
I know that in your slides you have shown that using CERARL for ceiling. Do remember, Kenneth, 2 years ago, we invite you to propose our penthouse spa at Orchard Road, that one of the spa room with the Gamban Yoku sauna steam. But Jake was proposing using CERARL. So we did a small portion of ceiling with our so-called spheric design to tie with the glass roof. So it turned out very beautiful. But bear in mind, the next few spa that we are planning to roll out is gonna be in a shopping mall where there's a lot of facilities. So my question is, which you haven't answered me since 2 years ago, okay. Chasing after you. What if question 1, does CERARL come with its gripping profile for removal for ceiling? Or if not, is it okay to install CERARL panels onto false ceiling, removal false ceiling? Or if okay, if yes, what type of false ceiling? Because currently we're planning to use compact gypsum. Will it actually? I heard that it actually quite light. The weight load is quite light, but for compact panels, it's usually 2 feet by 4 feet.
Yeah. So okay, this is how they install, I mean, you cannot install directly on the gypsum board. You need to have a support, you know, the metal frame and all these things. So you need to use the metal frame to adhere. And okay, this is too technical because I just recently got the information from Japan. I mean, I can send it because it's too, I cannot just say that you can install on the gypsum board or whatever. This is a safety it will cause any safety infringement. So what I would suggest that normally you need to have a bracket to support the CERARL and all these things. So because it to prevent the CERARL from breakdown, because the weight itself, the CERARL itself, the weight is about 9 kg. Yep. So I will get back to you with the information because it's too technical. Yeah. Yes.
Hi, Kenneth. Thanks for sharing all the information. I think Billy here. I saw just now on your presentation slides that you put up very impressive the facade projects that you shown. So question is, what is the core material between the CERARL, the products that you mentioned? And you did mention that it's a shaded outdoor. Are these products can be used full outdoor for the facade?
I don't recommend CERARL to use in a full outdoor environment because CERARL itself is designed for the interior, interior purposes. Okay. Second is what you can see right on the right pictures. Yeah, they just overlay on the concrete surfaces without any plywoods or whatever. Okay, so okay, because our manufacturer side, right, they don't recommend to use it in the outdoor, but I happen to see some, they use it in the, the bungalow, fully exposed to the sun and rain. So far, I once tell them that it's not, I don't have the liabilities to, if you install exposed to the sun and the rain, the shine. So they just continue without my advice. So far, they came back to me. They say they don't experience any color fadings or product damages or something. But still, I will not hold any. I don't want to have liabilities that CERARL can be used outdoor. But so far, I'm much confident after I see for such reviews in the semi-outdoor. I still recommend it can be used in the semi-outdoor.
Okay, thanks.
Kenneth, yeah, just now you show the toilet that you've done for the airport and the field, right? Okay, so I saw your core is about 3 mm only, right?
Yes.
So you're saying that you don't, regardless of the substrate, you can just apply directly onto the tile, but provided the substrate is straight, that's the thing.
Yes, let's let's say if you want to overlay onto the existing tiles, you make sure the tiles, right, is firmly attached to the wall. Yeah, let's say if the tile is a bit loose and all these things, you just take out the loose piece and you cover it. You try to cover it with the cement or to make it more even. Make sure the surface has to be even. Secondly, so thanks for raising up this question. Secondly, before you install CERARL, right, you have to make sure the surface it's not powdery, it's not dirty or whatever, because it's a matter of adhesive, whether it's able to adhere to the surface. Secondly, if the tiles is very, very old, is easily going to fall off or all these things, you have to consider removing all the tiles and directly adhere to the concrete wall.
So another question is structural wise, because it's 3 mm, right?
Yep.
So in fact, you have any issue of bubbling if your substrate is not totally straight, because sometimes the surface is very big. You may have missed out some of the leveling or this.
Yeah, it may have the issue of am I answering? That means the issue of unevenness. So it depends on the workmanship because of evenness and all these things. Sometimes they use the amount of max bond to do the tapping to make sure the CERARL is look even and all these things. So they have to do the adjustment through tapping and all these things.
So the air gap is fine lah.
Yes.
The integrity of the material itself is able to stand the straightness of it
Yes.
on the surface. Then last question is on the waterproofing part. Your core itself, is it water resistant or waterproof?
I can say it's waterproof.
Even the core itself.
Yeah, because the core itself is a fiberglass. Yeah, fiberglass itself is can be used everywhere. I mean, even your car bumper and all these things. No, sorry. Some of the material exposed to the house.
So for wet surface, if we do a direct butt joint without your bracket, it's fine, right? So the water seeping in, or
yeah. Okay, for example, in the toilet, a lot of people ask these questions. Let's say if the water seep behind CERARL, what will happen? Okay, CERARL itself is waterproof. So let's say where the water go through, I mean, normally it will go down to the ground because of gravity. Then the water will just flow, depend on the floor. Let's say the floor is not doing a good waterproofing, the water will seep. The water will seep to the concrete and go to maybe your neighbors downstairs or all.
So in other words, the bond between your surface and the core is also resilient enough for the long water splashes and things like that.
Yes.
In the toilet.
I'm confident to say that the product is water resilient for this thing because okay, we have do an experiment. We soak the CERARL in the water for 5 years. So far, it's still there in our showroom. Nothing has happened. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, I keep asking you a lot of questions.
No problem.
Okay, back to the the weather issue. Okay, the project that you have done for me, right, with the skylight and CERARL panel. So it answers some of a few audience questions. So far, it's been like 4 years. Still very beautiful. And even though there was a period during COVID, the roof was damaged. The glass panel actually fell off. So CERARL was being exposed to the sun for almost 9 months. So far, still okay. So my question is a bit similar to the outdoor treatment. So client actually preferred me to invite so-called natural air coming in, removing the glass panel for my skylight. And I would like to extend the surfaces, iron CERARL to be the replacement surfaces for the concrete screed, which actually directly exposed. I would not say that is totally exposed, but it's still sheltered, but in an awkward angle. As you know, my design is a bit a lot of sphere, a lot of angles. So whether resistant or not, I still have the confidence, but how about the 45 degrees joint? I tried that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the 45,
I know the mitral joint. Right?
Rather using profile.
Yeah, I
thanks.
know. Okay, again, I do not recommend you all to do mitral joint, 45 degrees joint. Because, let's say if I say CERARL can be used using 45 degrees, right? I will put myself in risk. Okay, reason is very simple. CERARL itself is a fiberglass. If you cut in the 45 degrees, right, the strength of the corner will not be that strong. One hit or one knock, it will crack. So, but some people still say, I would like to try. And again, I say, I hold no liability if you want to try 45. I came across one of the designers, they used 45 degrees. They leave a center gap. They use a grout line to do a center gap to strengthen the corner of the CERARL, the 45-degree of the CERARL. And also, why I don't want to say I have no liabilities or 45, second, is due to the workmanship. Because different, let's say if human tend to do some, have some errors and all these things. Let's say if your carpenter is not as skillful enough, so your carpenter is not skillful enough, you know, the aesthetically will be compromised. Aesthetically look will be compromised. Yeah.
Sorry, can I have again and again? Very important question. Curved surfaces.
Oh, curved surfaces. Just now you see one of, you know, the Elizabeth height. This one, right?
Yes, I do notice that you have your profile, and currently it's from top to bottom. So it's like a lot of minor, small, like chamfering pattern.
Yes,
I do understand, but now we're talking about horizontal. So we're talking about feature wall. So I do not have the height. So my height could be just only based on your cut size is
8 feet
around,
by 3 feet.
yeah. So let's talk about 900 mm or 800 mm height. So can I actually curve?
Okay, this is a design questions. Okay, CERARL itself cannot do curve because it's very hard. So you have to think of how to cut into certain size to do the curves. But again, it's a question of the look, the outlook. Is it look pleasing or not? That's why CERARL itself is because it's fiberglass, it cannot be curved. Yeah.
Thank you. So you have the HPL, matching HPL.
Yeah, let's say if you selected this design, we might have the similar HPL. Then certain area you have to continue with a HPL.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for attending. I mean your time and appreciate your attention. So with this, we shall end our symposium. Thank you very much.